I noticed then that her dogs lay under the table at her feet, motionless as inanimate objects. I nodded. I have to go to Bix anyway. Will Marge give it to me, or is there some law that she can only give your mail to you? I'll call ahead and ask her to release it. I can't imagine there will be a problem. Sure. Well, I'd better get going. Your cheeks are flushed. Do you have a fever? She asked, her eyes twinkling slightly. Ha ha. I'll be back by noon, I'm sure. I have the notes you asked for upstairs. We can look at them today if you'd like. Perfect. Perhaps right after lunch. See you later, then. I waved, grabbed my coat from a hook, took precious moments to button it and tie a scarf around my neck, and moved quickly out the door. The front porch was coated with a thin sheet of ice. I grabbed the bag of eco-friendly de-icing pellets that sat near the door and sprinkled them on the stairs and landing. The last thing we needed was Camilla with a broken leg. Down the steps then and to my car. I climbed in, enduring its wintry depths and waiting for the heater to kick in with the warming engine. Finally, I pulled toward the end of the long drive. To my right was a short road that led to a scenic overlook and a path that curved all the way around the bluff. Camilla's place was at the top of the bluff, so her view was the best of all. To my left was the same road leading down. I turned and descended the graduated path, lined today with bare and solemn trees that bent over the road like protective grandfathers with worry lines scratched into their bark. At the foot of the bluff, I turned left onto Wentworth Street, which curved around and intersected with Green Glass Highway. For 15 minutes, I admired the scenery, bare and white, yet beautiful in its elemental reality, and then I turned into a well-appointed subdivision with charming stone and brick homes. I pulled up in front of a corner lot where a stone sign on the lawn read Branch House. I got out and, digging into my coat pocket, retrieved the key that had been entrusted to me. My friend Allison lived here with her husband John. They were both at work now. I moved across the grass, crunchy with ice, casually looking around to be sure no one found my presence unusual, if they noticed it at all. The wood entry door opened easily, and once I stepped into the warm, pine-scented house, I locked the knob behind me. The room I stood in was empty. I admired its beauty. Hardwood floor, brown-patterned rug in front of the hearth, striking and colorful seaside painting above the fireplace, and Allison's knitting bag tucked against the brick jamb. Slowly, I pulled off my coat and scarf and set them on the couch. The kitchen was just around the corner. My footsteps seemed loud in the silence. I could hear the nervous sound of my own breathing. The kitchen, too, was empty. I stood, my mouth open slightly with surprise, and then jumped when someone grabbed me from behind, curling his arms around my waist. I turned, staying inside his embrace. Where were you hiding? His eyes, blue and familiar, locked onto mine. Not far. Did anyone see you? No, I'm pretty sure I wasn't followed either. Good. He smiled at me, and his arms tightened ever so slightly. You were in New York forever, I complained. I missed you. Did you find her? No, he said. We'll talk later. He bent his head and pressed his mouth against mine. I went pleasantly blank for a time, kissing Sam West in the secret hideout we'd arranged for our reunion, but a part of my mind wandered into a reflection of the ironies that had brought us together. Not 2 months ago, he had been suspected of killing his own wife, and then he was arrested on that suspicion. Now he was free because we had determined that his wife was still alive, but we didn't know where she was. Since then, we had all worked on finding her, the police and FBI with whatever resources they were allotting, Camilla and I through online searches, Sam and his private detective, Jim Harrigan, through more specific means. Sam had been in New York for more than a month, talking with investigators, neighbors, anyone who might have some sort of information about the missing Victoria. He had gone to New York at the end of November and had still been there at Christmas. It had been a lonely time, sitting in a snowbound blue lake and wondering what Sam was doing on the East Coast. Any future the two of us might have, we knew, was in limbo until we knew more about Victoria.